National Security Minister Lalithathulat Mudali has said there is some evidence to show that the terrorist group LTTE was behind this morning's bomb explosion on board an Air Lanka plane at Katunayaka. 20 people died in the incident and 24 were injured. Earlier in the day, security sources said it appeared that a group called the Black Tigers, possibly a subsidiary of the LTTE, was responsible for the attack. The Air Lanka TriStar City of Colombo was on the main tarmac outside the airport's main terminal building. This was when the bomb went off around 9:20 a.m. The plane, which arrived this morning from London via Zurich and Dubai, was due to take off on a flight to the Maldivian capital of Malé when the explosion happened. The flight was to take off half an hour after its scheduled departure time of 9:45 a.m. Security sources say the bomb, which was probably in the luggage that was loaded onto the plane in Colombo, was meant to go off when the plane was in the air. Passengers were still boarding when the explosion blew the plane about and set it on fire. The airport's fire services brought the blaze under control within 5 minutes. The force of the blast wrecked windows in the main terminal building. Here's how one of the passengers who survived the explosion described it.
We walked down to our seats, in seats 37A and 37B. We both sat down, and there must have been a period of around...
You and your girlfriend both in the same two different...
Yes.
I was in the window.
Window seat, and I was the one out. And then we were both sitting there, and then for around 10 minutes, and then suddenly there was an enormous bang just behind, to my right, just behind me. There.
That means you are seated just middle of the plane or the...
No, at the back, and I was near the galley, the last galley, and there was an enormous bang, and the ceiling came down, and the smoke just came through, and then my girlfriend managed to get out and climbed over me, and then I climbed over the back of the seat as well, and there was nothing. Our seat was sitting on the edge.
This police officer was on duty at the airport when the bomb went off. He says he heard a bang from the apron area of the airport. It shattered the windows of his room, and then he saw the rear of the plane breaking off and catching fire. Rescue workers at the airport said it was difficult to identify the dead because most of them were charred beyond recognition. Among the 13 bodies recovered this morning was that of a small child.
We recovered 11 dead bodies at the airport premises now, and I'm informed that there are 2 dead bodies lying at the Sri Lanka Air Force Base mortuary.
Intelligence sources say the attack seems to have been the work of a hitherto unknown terrorist group called the Black Tigers with possible LTTE connections. A number of camouflage hats with the group's crest were found among the wreckage of the plane. The airport was closed to traffic immediately after the explosion and a security cordon thrown around the area. An airport contingency committee for emergencies swung into operation. By 5:30 this evening, the airport was reopened to international traffic and scheduled flights resumed. This is one of the doors of the plane, now lodged on the roof of the control tower. Air Lanka's Flight 101 to Malé left this evening around 6:30. As it waited on the tarmac, a grim procession of hearses drove past with bodies of the dead. The injured were rushed by ambulance and helicopter to nearby Negombo Hospital and some others to the Colombo General Hospital and the Sri Javardhanapura Hospital. The most critically injured are at the accident service of the Colombo General Hospital. Hospital sources said this evening that of the 8 men and 3 women admitted, 1, a Japanese man, had died. 5 patients, 2 English, 2 Japanese and 1 German, are in the intensive care unit. 3 patients were admitted to the Sri Javardhanapura Hospital, and one of them is said to be a Sri Lankan named Sarath Pereira. A National Security Ministry press release put the number of injured at 24, considerably less than what was originally feared. Among the injured are 2 Indian Airlines pilots who were walking past the Air Lanka TriStar to their own plane when the explosion happened. National Security Minister Lalithathulat Mudali condemned the act and regretted the loss of life of innocent people.